In the south of Kashmir, the Zul festival, or the Festival of Lights, a centuries-old tradition, was celebrated. Devotees carried flaming torches at the Ashmukam shrine in the Anantnag district to mark the annual occasion. Held around early April, the celebration symbolizes the victory of light over darkness and marks the beginning of the farming season. Hello and welcome. I'm Kripa and this is Inside South Asia. The 2026 Assembly election season in India has finally kicked off, with Assam, Kerala and Puducherry going to polls in single phase on 9th of April. Tamil Nadu and West Bengal will vote later this month, and the counting of these elections is all set for the 4th of May. Take a look at some highlights.
People are fed up with the present government. It was a misrule. People suffered a lot. So this time, UDF will get a massive victory.
See, today in Kerala, voters, they are convinced that the LDF government is promising implementing all promises. The credibility is proved by the LDF government. So everybody are prepared to vote in favor of LDF.
Assam development means Himanta Biswa Sarma. Assam's development means Narendra Modi ji. So definitely people will vote for us. We'll come back with a thumping majority.
The people of Assam are going to give a very important verdict today. This will be historic. The way people have supported us, I think this election will be for the development of Assam. People want a safe and secure Assam. We are getting a huge number of votes in the state. BJP will get more than 70 to 80 seats, and with the alliance partners, we may cross 100 seats.
Yes, it's a primary duty of every citizen, every voter to vote in the elections. And I request all the citizens to come and vote because it is their right to vote.
Bangladesh is in the grip of major measles outbreak. In less than a month, more than 100 children have tragically lost their lives. 900 cases of measles have been confirmed and thousands more are suspected to be afflicted with the airborne disease across the South Asian nation. Hospitals have been swamped with cases, stretching them beyond capacity, while crowded cities and Rohingya refugee camps have transformed into potential hotspots for the deadly disease. Our next report brings you the details.
In a small clinic on the outskirts of the capital Dhaka, a young mother waits anxiously, her child cradled tightly in her arms. The boy's skin is dotted with a faint rash and his body is burning with fever. Symptoms that of late have become all too familiar across Bangladesh. Around her, other parents wait, engulfed in uneasy silence, each holding a child afflicted with the highly contagious disease. The scourge of measles has invaded homes across Bangladesh. The outbreak is one of the deadliest in recent history.
My child had a fever and a cold. Then I consulted a doctor and had an X-ray, which showed pneumonia. Treatment was ongoing for pneumonia, but after 2 days, a measles infection happened.
Hospitals have been inundated with young children aged 6 months to 5 years old, many of them burning with fever, struggling to breathe, their skin marked by the telltale rash. Given the sudden surge in measles cases, the government of Bangladesh has launched an emergency measles rubella vaccine drive. The campaign, which started on the 5th of April, will expand nationwide in phases from next month, aiming to reach over 1 million vulnerable children. Global partners, the World Health Organization, UNICEF and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance, are working alongside local authorities in 18 high-risk districts in a bid to contain this outbreak. For a country of over 170 million people, the sharp rise in cases, putting the youngest and the most vulnerable children at risk, has set off alarm bells. Since mid-March, over 7,500 suspected cases have been reported, out of which more than 900 have been confirmed. Compare this with the fact that last year only 125 cases were reported, rendering the current situation both shocking and devastating. Dense urban areas like Dhaka and regions such as Cox's Bazar, home to the large Rohingya refugee camps, are especially vulnerable. Crowded living conditions make containment difficult here. But what is even more worrying are infants too young for routine vaccination. Especially vulnerable, they are at the highest risk of severe illness.
They should avoid taking medicine from shopkeepers unnecessarily. If a child has a fever, especially high fever, they should not rely on medicine from local shops. Instead, they must take the child to a hospital as soon as possible.
Noteworthy is also the fact that measles is one of the most contagious diseases known to humankind. An airborne disease, it spreads through air, causing fever, respiratory distress, and a characteristic rash. The virus remains active and contagious in the air or on infected surfaces for up to 2 hours. In certain severe cases, especially among young children, it can lead to fatalities. According to the World Health Organization, at least 95% of the population needs to be vaccinated to stop the disease from spreading, rendering the role of vaccination crucial. Bangladesh, despite decades of progress, has not reached that threshold. Since the launch of a mass immunization campaign in 1979, Bangladesh has made rapid and remarkable strides, raising the coverage of fully immunized children from just 2% to 82%. So how did the South Asian country, long regarded as a model for vaccination programs, find itself grappling with one of its deadliest measles outbreak in the recent years? Well, it hasn't helped that special nationwide measles campaigns, typically held every 4 years, have not taken place since 2020. First, the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted health services, and then came the political turmoil of 2024. During this period, the vaccination campaign for measles was disrupted. Planned campaigns never materialized due to political paralysis. Consequently, there was a shortage of critical vaccine stockpiles, including vaccine for measles and 6 other diseases. Responding to questions in the parliament on Monday, Bangladesh's health minister pinned the blame for the outbreak on the mismanagement and failures of the previous administration. But for families anxiously waiting outside overcrowded clinics, the question of responsibility matters less than the urgency of the moment.
For decades, the mountains of Nepal, including the world-renowned Mount Everest, have drawn climbers and trekkers from across the globe in search of adventure and heeding the call of the wild. At high altitudes where oxygen thins and a sudden turn in weather isn't unexpected, helicopter rescue of a stricken and stranded trekker is a noble, life-saving operation. However, a multi-million-dollar insurance scam involving fake helicopter rescues of trekkers has cast a shadow over the country's vital tourism industry. We explore further with this report.
In a major crackdown, the Himalayan nation of Nepal has charged 32 people and arrested at least half a dozen in a fake helicopter rescue scam that allegedly siphoned millions of dollars from international insurance companies. Reportedly, the Nepalese authorities arrested 6 people on the 25th of January, following a 4-month investigation into 3 Kathmandu-based mountain rescue agencies, namely Mountain Rescue, Everest Experience, Assistance, and Nepal Charter Service companies.
Helicopter rescues in Nepal's Himalayas, meant to save lives, are under scrutiny for a multi-million-dollar scam. Authorities say that rescue companies carried out fake evacuations by pushing foreign climbers into unnecessary helicopter rescues and using forged medical documents and passenger records to claim insurance money. This scam was able to generate nearly $20 million. Authorities say that this has damaged Nepal's global image, with many insurers even flagging the country as a no-go destination. Following which, the current government has said that no tolerance policy will be implemented and an investigation will be carried out.
According to the investigators, between 2022 and 2025, the accused companies carried out nearly 300 unnecessary helicopter evacuations, mainly involving foreign climbers on Everest and other Himalayan peaks. In the long-running racket, some guides intentionally made trekkers fall sick by adding baking soda to their food, which resulted in serious stomach issues resembling altitude sickness. The sick trekkers were then allegedly pressured into emergency rescues for minor health issues, even when simpler treatment was possible. The nefarious design aimed at earning easy money by creating medical emergencies, so insurance companies would swiftly clear expensive evacuation and treatment claims. According to police, the companies falsified passenger manifests, medical reports and invoices, and falsely claimed that evacuated trekkers were treated at hospitals in Kathmandu. These forged documents were then used to fraudulently claim insurance payouts.
The fake rescue issue first came to light back in 2017-2018. At that time, a committee was also formed at the ministry level to look into it. From the very beginning, the issue was highlighted in international media, exposing the fraud in Nepal's mountaineering sector. Later, the police received information from reliable sources about the ongoing racket, and that's when we launched our own investigation. So far, our investigation has identified 294 cases of fake rescues involving foreign tourists. These acts fall under offences against national interest as per Section 51 of the National Penal Code 2017, and legal action has accordingly been initiated.
Preliminary findings show that the companies collectively received around $19.7 million from foreign insurance firms. Authorities warn that the scam has had serious consequences for Nepal's global image.
This fake rescue crime directly damages Nepal's reputation. Because of this, many international insurance companies are stepping back from operating in Nepal.
Following the unearthing of the scam, several international insurers and tourism bodies have reportedly flagged Nepal as a no-go destination, raising concerns over trust and safety in the country's mountaineering sector. With the case labelled as an offence against national interest, further investigation is reportedly underway. The possibility of the scam being part of an organised racket has not been ruled out, and more arrests and wider scrutiny are expected to follow.
Preparations for the upcoming Amarnath Yatra have begun in Jammu and Kashmir. Authorities have intensified efforts to ensure a safe and well-organized pilgrimage. The government is placing strong emphasis on route management, security arrangements, medical preparedness, and seamless logistics. The aim is to ensure a smooth and hassle-free experience for pilgrims this year.
With the annual Amarnath Yatra drawing closer, Preparations are in full swing in Jammu and Kashmir. Arrangements are being put in place for the pilgrimage season. The Yatra will take place from June, July to August. A large number of pilgrims are expected to visit the shrine in the holy cave in South Kashmir. For this, security and traffic management are being strengthened. A high-level review meeting was recently chaired by the Divisional Commissioner of Kashmir. Senior officials from across the valley attended, including representatives from Anantnag, Budgam, Gandarbal, Bandipora and Srinagar.
The Amarnath Yatra is one of the most significant pilgrimages, not only in spiritual terms, but also for its contribution to Jammu and Kashmir's tourism sector. We have already begun reviewing ongoing work related to the tracks, with all departments, including power and sanitation, actively involved.
The R&B department has been asked to speed up road work near base camps. Parking facilities, pony stands, and helipads are also being developed. Progress on snow clearance, track repairs, and widening along the Pahalgam route was also reviewed. This time, authorities are stressing on the importance of maintaining momentum to ensure smooth movement during the Yatra. Tent fabricators have been instructed to set up high-quality shelters only in safe, non-flood prone zones along both the Pahalgam and Baltal routes. The Deputy Commissioner of Anantnag has been tasked with identifying vulnerable zones, coordinating resources and overseeing the smooth movement of pilgrims. Fire safety remains a top priority with proper spacing between the tents, fire tenders and trained personnel at base camps. Sanitation drives are being carried out, while healthcare facilities are being strengthened with additional ambulances and better medical support. Registration for the Yatra is expected to begin around April 14th. Through the SASP portal and select bank branches, pilgrims must provide a recent medical fitness certificate, and only those aged 13 to 70 will be eligible. Plans also include RTC transport, public address systems, IMD weather updates, secure lodging for security forces, clear signage and strong telecom networks for RFID tracking. Disaster preparedness and network reliability are key focus areas. Roads are being upgraded, medical facilities strengthened and security tightened. Everything is on track to ensure this year's Amarnath Yatra is safe, smooth and hassle-free for all pilgrims. Preparations have kick-started in the Kashmir Valley for the upcoming Amarnath Yatra. The administration has already started taking meetings in every district with regard to security and logistics for the Amarnath Yatra. Meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir government's first priority remains the security, while as they're also working on making sure that the Yatra is hassle-free and seamless for the pilgrims.
Now let's take a look at what else is making headlines across the region in our Inside South Asia wrap.
In a move aimed at deepening bilateral engagement, Bangladesh's Foreign Minister Khalilur Rahman visited India from the 7th to the 9th of April. The visit represents the first high-level outreach by Bangladesh's new government since it assumed office in February this year. India's Ministry of External Affairs has characterized the visit as an effort to further strengthen the India-Bangladesh partnership, underscoring the warm and historic relations rooted in strong people-to-people connections. This also marks the first visit by a Bangladeshi foreign minister to India since 2024, bridging a notable gap in ministerial-level engagements between the two countries.
On the 7th April, 30 Indian fishermen returned home after being repatriated from Sri Lanka following a court-ordered release. The fishermen, hailing from Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, had been detained nearly 2 weeks earlier for allegedly crossing the international maritime boundary line into Sri Lankan waters in the Pork Strait. They were arrested by the Sri Lankan Navy on charges of illegal fishing in what has been a recurring issue between the two countries. The release comes amid rising tensions in the Bay of Bengal and the Pork Strait, regions frequently marked by disputes over fishing rights. Officials noted that such incidents have been on the rise, with over 100 Indian fishermen and several boats detained by Sri Lankan authorities in recent months.
Heavy rains, storms and floods have ravaged Afghanistan and Pakistan for over 2 weeks, claiming at least 188 lives so far. Officials warn that the death toll is likely to rise. In Afghanistan, already grappling with a severe humanitarian crisis, heavy rainfall have killed 123 people since the 26th of March, adding to the mayhem. On 5th of April, a magnitude 5.8 earthquake killed at least 12 people and injured 4 others. In northern Pakistan, fatalities due to extreme rains have risen to 47, including 27 children. The severe weather has also caused widespread damage and blocked major roads across the South Asian nations.
That's all we have in our show today. But as we leave, take a look at the spectacular fireworks that illuminated the sky above Amritsar's Golden Temple on the occasion of Prakash Purab of Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur. I'm Kripa, and we will see you next week.
Campaigns, elections, alliances, controversies, and power play. Stories that analyze global and domestic politics. A dedicated show with varied perspectives, expert take, citizens' voices, detailed ground reports, and in-depth coverage from political corridors of the world. This is Race to Power.